So today we're going to go over the bent over barbell row. Now this is usually one of the first exercises that I introduce once the main lifts have become trained, like fairly efficient. It's a great overall strength builder for the back, specifically the upper back, depending on what variation of row you choose to do. But it's a really good assistance exercise for your deadlift and the start position of your Olympic lifts, because it very closely mimics the start position. So generally when I program these, it's for volume. So the weight isn't as intense as with the main lifts, but so the weight is lighter, so you can do more reps, more volume. A couple of the main cues I like to use when teaching the row, think about pulling your elbows to the ceiling, like not necessarily pulling the bar to the ceiling, but think about pulling your elbows to the ceiling, keep them close to your body, like keeping your elbows tucked in. Make sure you're displaying good overall posture. So your upper back and your low back, you want to have those in extension. Even though our upper back is naturally a little bit rounded, we want to make sure our upper back is set, locked in, and we're not letting the weight really pull us forward. So we want nice posture. And also it's important to think about making contact. Well, you must make contact with your torso, but you want to make contact in the same spot every time. Just that way you know that you're repeating the movement from rep to rep. So a little trick you can use, you can chalk the center of the bar, the center knurling, and if after your set, if you notice that the chalk, it's all over the place, it's not in one little section of your low ribs, then you know you're not being very consistent with the bar path. But if you have a nice tidy little chalk line, you know you're doing a fairly good job. The setup is very similar to a deadlift setup, so you can go back and watch my videos on the deadlift setup, but a couple quick points: your feet are very close to under your hips. And the bar, it doesn't have to be directly over your midfoot, as I emphasize in the deadlift setup, but it's got to be pretty close to your midfoot. And if you find you're having a hard time getting into an optimal position, like if your back is rounded over, just simply put a couple blocks under the weight to elevate the start position, and so that you can optimize the start position and have a safe pull with your back in a good neutral position. So grip, you can use a couple different grips. You'll see here a double overhand grip. That's the one I usually recommend. There's no need for a hook grip with this lift because it's sub-maximal weight, the rows are, so your grip shouldn't fail you. Here I switched to supinated grip, and that's going to just target the lower lats a little bit more. You're going to hit your biceps a little bit as well as you pull. Just a different variation. It's pretty close to the same lift though. Let's take a look at a couple different variations. This first one, my torso angle is going to be fairly horizontal, and it's going to be a fairly strict pull, so I'm not going to use very much hip or leg momentum. And I'm going to pull it up very fast, and I'm going to stop between every rep and rebrace. So the barbell is going to touch the floor every rep. This next one, I'm going to deadlift the bar off the floor, and then at the top I'm going to go down just like a deadlift and have the bar stop just below my knees. As you can see, my torso angle is more vertical, so it's going to be working the upper portion of your back a little bit more than the last one. This next look here, it's going to be less strict, so I'm going to use a little bit of momentum. Just as long as the momentum is coming from your legs and your hips, and it's not compromising your spinal position so your back isn't rounding, I'm okay with that. But like I said, if the weight is too heavy and you're losing good posture, you're losing good spinal position, then that's not acceptable. There you have it, the barbell row. Very important exercise for strength, stability, posture, and as you can see, there's lots of different ways that you can manipulate it, and not only in the actual movement, but in your programming as well for your goals and what you want to accomplish with it. But a very important exercise to include in your program. Thanks.